Hey guys, welcome back to another kinematics lecture. This is Hassan, and today I'm going to teach you all the formulas you need in your AS level kinematics. Most of the formulas I'll teach in this video you have already used them in your O levels in solving out the numericals, but there are a few formulas which will be new to you, and I'll also try my best that it makes your problem solving easier. Along with that, I will also teach you the derivations of them. So I think let's get started. Our chapter is kinematics, and we are doing the formulas. Sorry. Okay, so we'll start off with the O level formulas, which you have. I believe which you have already done them. O level. So the first formula we have is distance. Okay, let's use only d. Speed multiplied by time. And here we have displacement is equals to velocity multiplied by time. Okay, so there's a condition when we use these formulas, and that is that they will be only used when the speed and the velocity is constant. Speed and velocity are constant. Please bear with me with my handwriting because I'm working on my phone. Okay, so now I'll tell you the difference between distance and displacement, because when I was in my O levels, I really got stuck on this concept because I didn't knew about the distance about the difference between them. So distance is a scalar quantity and displacement is a vector quantity. I must mention this. Distance is a scalar quantity, whereas displacement is a vector quantity. So now you will have a question in your mind that what is a scalar and what is a vector. So in an ideal world, I believe that you all must have learned this concept in your chapter 1, but still I'm going to tell you that scalar quantity only has a magnitude, whereas the vector quantity has a magnitude and a direction. So the displacement is a vector quantity and distance is a scalar quantity. So now let's move ahead on to our next formula, which is the third formula, which is distance is equals to average speed multiplied by time, and the fourth one is displacement is equals to average velocity multiplied by time. So now there is also a condition when we use both of these, which is that we only use them when speed and velocity are changing. So changing speed and velocity. I think I made my point clear. Now as we see that it states average velocity. So what do we mean by average? Okay, so now we denote your initial velocity with letter U and the final velocity with letter V. Now what is average? How do we calculate the average? If we know the initial velocity and the final velocity, how will we calculate the average? We'll simply calculate it by calculating the sum of the initial velocity and the final velocity and simply divide it by 2. That's how you'll get your average. So now your average velocity is final plus initial divided by 2 bracket multiplied by time. this this is the formula of displacement. This formula is really important because we are going to use this formula in the derivations we are going to do afterwards. So now moving to the fifth formula, which is of acceleration. Acceleration, what is, firstly we should know that what is acceleration. I think you all must know this. If you know this, please mention that in the comment section. Otherwise I'll tell you. Acceleration is rate of change of velocity. Rate of change of velocity. Alright. So now, what is the formula of acceleration? As you read this statement, rate of change of velocity, right? So what do we understand by change of velocity? Change of velocity means final velocity minus initial velocity divided by time. So acceleration is final velocity minus initial velocity divided by time. Or the new formula which you have not learned in your O levels. Now we are going to do that, which is an extremely important formula for your AS level, is V is equals to U plus AT. V is velocity final, this is initial velocity, plus acceleration, and this is your time. Acceleration and time are getting multiplied. So now we have done the 5 formulas, which most of them are from your O levels. Now moving ahead, I believe that you people have got most of the have your grip on most of the formulas, but still, if you are getting confused in anything, you can mention that in the comment box. I will try my best, I will try my level best to answer you. Otherwise still I will make a video in which I will be using these formulas in many MCQs and theory questions, so that you guys have a more firm grip on the concept and the formula. So now moving ahead, we are going to derive 2 new very extremely important formulas which will help you a lot in your AS level. AS level. Alright. So the first formula we have is V square is equals to U square plus 2AS. Okay, so at first it is getting a little bit confusing. I know that it is a bit challenging, you need to learn these formulas, but we'll derive it and we'll make it a bit simpler for you. So V square, as we have done it earlier, final velocity is denoted by V, initial velocity is denoted by U, plus 2AS means 2 multiplied by acceleration multiplied by the displacement. S is the displacement. So now we are going to just derive this formula. And how are we going to do that? As I said you earlier, that this formula, this displacement formula, is very important. So now this displacement formula, which is S is equals to U plus V divided by 2 into T. Okay, so now I'm going to tell you a trick of how to derive this formula, because the derivation comes often in your theory exam, which, and it comprises of 3 marks, and 3 marks can change your grade from B to A, B to C, and can have big consequences for you. So I think it's better if you learn these derivations by heart. Okay, so now in the formula V square is equal to U square plus 2S, you need to observe that one thing is missing. Pause the video and comment. Okay, so now I'll tell you the thing that is missing in the formula is time. So now what are we going to do? We are going to make time the subject, but not for the displacement formula. The formula we have done other of acceleration, which is v is equals to u plus at. Alright, so not now what we need to do is we will make time the subject of the formula. T is equals to v minus u upon a. Now substitute this in this displacement formula, u plus v upon 2 into t, and now we'll get s is equals to u plus v upon 2 into sorry guys into v minus u upon a. And what will we get is, after solving out, you can solve that by yourself, and the answer you'll get is v square is equals to u square plus 2as. So now what did we simply do? We observed that which thing is missing in this formula, and the thing we found out was time. So now we use the displacement formula and the acceleration formula. We made time the subject of the acceleration formula, substituted time in the displacement formula, and simply multiplied u plus v upon 2 with change in velocity upon time, and then you will get this as your answer. You can do the working by yourself, I think. Now the other derivation we have, and this is also the last derivation we have, is of another very 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 important formula, which is displacement is equals to ut plus half a t square. Okay, so this formula I've also uploaded a video in which I've solved an MCQ, and I've used this formula to solve that MCQ. You can easily watch that and know that how to use this formula in MCQs and other numericals. So now what do we need to do? First, we'll observe that which thing is missing from this formula. Take a second and commit what is missing, which thing: initial velocity, final velocity, displacement, time, acceleration. What is missing in this formula? Okay, so now the final velocity is missing in this formula. So now again we have that displacement formula, which is s is equals to u plus v upon 2 into t, and v is equals to u plus at. We had these two formulas. We know that v is missing from the original formula, which we need to derive. So now we will simply substitute v here, and after solving it mathematically, what we will get is s is equals to ut plus half at square. Alright, I think we are done with all the formulas. You can have a look at all of them. Still, if you are missing anything, or if you think that you are confused in any concept, you can just comment down on the comment section of the video, and I'll just simply explain you. Other than this, I'm going to upload some MCQs, and there's another formula of projectile motion, but we haven't studied projectile yet, so I'll tell you when we will study that. Other than that, these are all the formulas you need to do to learn to ace your AS level kinematics. I hope so you all like the video. I think I made the concepts easier for you. If so, then like, subscribe and share the video. Thank you.